mustache.
All right, guys, sorry we were a couple minutes late, but we really wanted to be presentable when we started for you today because we just discovered these things on Zoom. Do you guys know about these? This is what happens when all of us get on it, when the three of us get on a Zoom together. They're these video filters. Do we look like Gary or what? Okay, guys.
What happens when we get on too early?
Yes. See, I know we thought we were going to be early and we really have it together. But we didn't. I actually really like these a lot. I feel fun with those.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's see. Now I don't know how to get it off. There we go. None. Okay. All right. So thanks for being here. Really excited to have Brittney McAllister back. I told her, you guys, no offense to like all the other amazing people, Jason Abrams, Linda McKissick, James Shaw, whoever else that we've had that has been so awesome. You all blew up my email after Brittney still to this day. I told her this morning, I'm still getting emails asking for things from Brittney, like, for those of you that are asking for the wrapping paper cutter, that's going to come. She's going to share that too. But Brittney did such a great job. So welcome back. Thanks for coming back.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just grateful to be here. I was thinking, so after that, I don't know if it was later that day or the next morning, you were like, the people need you back. And I was like, I'm currently doing lead gen. Like, I was like, I am not. Yeah. It was like,
yes, I texted her. I was like, the people have spoken. So when can we get you back on a second one? So, and she did, she responded and said, I'm actually lead generating right now. I was like, of course you are. Great job. Love it. Okay, guys. So I thought for those of you, post in the chat if you did see the session 1. I'm just curious if you were on session 1, yes or no, just so I can get a gauge of, okay, most of you, yes, awesome. Okay, cool. If you were not on, actually, Abby, would you care to post? Okay, if you were not on, Abby will post in the chat the link and you can watch session 1 recording, and then we'll post this one too. So last time we did a deep dive on database, and we did a lot on the touch programs. The touch. So, I mean, I'm actually sharing your touch program in my business planning clinics this week that I'm teaching, and your FSBO script. So thank you. I was like, oh, I needed a new one anyway. But today we're going to really deep dive on social media and we're going to talk about the 10 things that you need to know when utilizing social media. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, Abby. In your real estate. And then we'll just ask questions. So as she's sharing, if you have questions, just post them in the chat and we'll field them. Yeah. And then, is that good, Brittney? Then we'll go from there.
That's perfect.
Okay.
I just didn't. So yeah. And that was that's what we said we were going to talk about, right? With social media. So we're not like, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then if you guys have other questions, maybe we'll have a couple minutes so we can ask and you can answer those too. But before you start with that, I do have a question. Did you start social media from the time you started in the business, or has it grown progressively? Like, talk a little bit about that before you start giving us these 10 things.
Yes. So I started real estate 7 years ago, and Instagram and Facebook, those were really my two. So Instagram and Facebook is where the majority of our following is. That's really where we post all of our things. That's where we're the most active. Yep. And that really did start right when I first got licensed. I probably spent way too much time. I've learned a lot. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is all the things, honestly, that I've learned in the last 7 years, because I spent a lot of time making things look really pretty. And then I spent a lot more time making them than just getting it out there and making sure, the content was there. And so there's definitely a balance. And that's one of the things we'll talk about today. But really, yep, Facebook and Instagram is where the majority of our business comes from. And that's how we use social media. That's really, we use social media to stay in touch with our sphere and our past clients. And that's, we'll talk about that today too, which is I think I mentioned it last time for those of you, and for the new people, welcome. And for the people that watched it already once, or that came once, I'm pumped that you're back. That was really what we talked about, was using social media as a vehicle to then go do something, make a personal touch. So, it's one thing to comment, congratulations. It's another to do that. And then also send them a handwritten card or send them a Starbucks gift card or something like that. So we'll talk about that too.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, perfect. And then one more question before you start. Do you naturally want to do social media, or like, do you have to make yourself do it?
So I am naturally on social media. Like I love just posting. I love watching. I probably honestly addicted if there was a thing. I am definitely addicted to Instagram. I do not have TikTok. We will talk about TikTok today. I do not have it just because I was like scrolling endlessly, and I had a conversation with Diana Kokoska, and she was like, so like, is that the best use of your time? And I was like, okay, Diana said no, so I'm done. It's just really like figuring out where, what is the best use of our time. So I love posting. My husband is like, do not post me. And I'm like, that was funny. Come here. Like, I'll like chase him around. Now, Sydney, who's on my team, she's one of our buyer's agents, and she is 23, just turned 23. And we have to like twist, we're like, Sydney, you have to post today. It's on her 411 to post on social media, because she just doesn't, that's not her natural thing.
Yeah. I don't even think it's an age thing. I think it's like, do you enjoy it or do you not enjoy it?
Yes. I don't think it's an age thing either. I mean, heck, look at Cece Underwood. I'm obsessed with Cece, and she's freaking crushing it on TikTok. And she's actually one of I reference her in here. So the things that we're talking about. I'm
actually giving out all her videos list at my business planning clinics this week too. Yeah.
And so you guys, this is, I didn't just make this up on the spot. This was a CE class that I taught last week in our market. So we had a full room, we had 50 plus for social media, like continuing education. And so this was, if any of you are licensed in Nebraska, this could be Nebraska continuing ed approved.
And just so you guys know, that took 3 hours and we have 50 minutes. So we're going to go kind of quick today. And then if we have questions, we'll wrap it up at the end.
We're going to go quick. And then I'll also send the slides that I used for this presentation specifically. I'll send those to Dana so you guys can have those too.
Perfect. Awesome. Cool. Okay, let's go. You start.
Hey, let's go. Okay. So these are the 10 things. Number one is branding and personalization. So, a successful brand is more than just a combination of colors and logos. Actually, let's do this, because you guys don't necessarily need to stare at my face the whole time. This will be worth it. Okay, I'll just pull up the slides right now. Do not panic. I know it's terrible. Hold on. All my tabs.
People like slides. I know my tabs look the same.
Slides. What is it called? Probably this one. Oh no, that's my profit share one. That was the one I shared with you guys last time. Okay, give me 1 second. I will.
People are freaking out about your tabs. You guys, mine are so bad too. Oh my gosh.
Okay, here. Mine. I know it's really.
I know that I love
mostly. You guys should see my home screen, then you'd really panic.
Same.
Okay, when this loads, I know it's probably not loading because we have 8,000 things happening.
It's probably all those tabs.
You know that meme that goes around that's like, when there's like random music playing and you don't know where it's coming from? Yeah, that's this. I know. Okay, fine. Maybe I will. Okay, we'll keep going as it loads. Follow it. We'll just follow along. Okay. Okay, so the first one is branding personalization. And so a successful brand is more than just a combination of colors and logos. It's about your reputation and the impression that you make on clients when they think of your brand. So a great brand communicates your company's core values, the services, and then the service that it provides. Yep. So one thing that we are really, really adamant about in our, is it over here? Oh, present. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. One thing on our team that we are just really passionate about is branding and making sure that the things that we are posting are in line with who we are. And so here are some things that I want you, if you have a brand or you don't have a brand, here are some things that you can start to think about. So questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about your brand is, what brings you joy?
Love that.
People always ask me about ... Actually, oh my gosh, Dana, thank you so much for that book you sent me. A lot of the content that we have in here is from that book.
Oh, awesome. Good. You're welcome. I'm glad. It's one of my favorite ones. It's called what to is it what to post? What to what to post. Yeah, it's so good.
So these were just, okay, we're getting here. So the things I skipped through were just Nebraska rules. I don't know what, your guys' rules are. So people always ask me about ... What are 2 to 3 things that people are always surprised or delighted to hear about you or to learn about you? What is your number 1 superpower? What are 3 words that describe you? And again, this is thinking more of like personal brand, right? Because the people we're connecting with them on a personal level. So we want to have a good understanding of who we are. I truly, truly believe that we attract who we are. And so it's important that we're pouring into ourselves first. And then that's the brand that gets to go out. That's that's how you come across as authentic and, genuine, all those things that we want to come across as. So what personal brand do you admire? I think this is a really good one is, what is something that you admire? And then what is it that you admire about them? Do you admire that, they're very real? Alicia is on here. She's from my office. And this morning we had our Thanksgiving and we went around and told 2 or 3 people in our market center what we were grateful for them. And for Alicia on social media, she kills it and she's so authentic and she's so funny. And I told her I'm so grateful that you don't care if people are laughing at you, because she laughs at herself more than anyone. So things like that she knows who she is, she knows her brand and she shows up that way. And this is a good one to ask yourself is what scares you about it? What scares you about making content or what scares you about social media? I think if you can write these things down and get it out on paper, it gives you power over it. So, if you're I don't like the way my voice sounds. I'm one of those people. I don't like the way my voice sounds, or I think I'm going to look dumb, or, whatever it is that is holding you back, write it down and get it out on paper and then look back at it. And, then you can tackle it because it's out of your head. That's a really big one, especially with social media. For whatever reason, we build it up, we put it on this pedestal, we can't do it, or we don't have any followers or whatever that looks like. So that's a good one. And then what kind of content format do you prefer? So, if you are so strongly against video and you're not going to go do it, then don't go do it. Just like with lead gen, if you absolutely hate door knocking, why would you spend all your days door knocking? Go find something that works for you. If you're really good at Canva, you're so good at just captions. And so you just need to make a quick eye-catching content thing and then really get after it in the caption, then go do that really well. No one's, forcing you to do one thing or the other. And what we're going to dive into today is all kinds of different things that you can do. And in my experience, there's no one thing better than another. Today's hot topic is video. Everyone loves video and that's great. And there's going to be new things happening all the time. So just pick something and then go really, really deep on that one thing.
Yep. Love those. These questions are so good. And one thing I just thought of, Brittney, don't you think it would be great for them if they're thinking, man, I don't really know 3 words that people would send an email to the 20 people that know you the best, or put it on your social media and just put it out there and see what other people, what words would they use to describe you? Because whether you like it or not, that's probably your brand. That's how they perceive you. I mean, hopefully it's all positive and great. But I think we've done that before in exercises where we've emailed a certain number of people, or I've actually haven't done that in a long time. And it's a great refresher to do, to just see, and you'll see common words come back up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be awesome. Or use it as a touch, reach out to your VIP, reach out to your top people and just say, hey, we're going through a rebrand. And that doesn't have to mean visually through a rebrand. It can be, you're figuring out what your brand looks like and just, what are 3 things that you would use to describe, you. And people, our clients love when we can involve them. They want to be involved. We make up this thing they don't want to hear from us. Well, they'd rather hear from you consistently than only hear from you when it comes time to make money from them.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Yep. Totally agree.
Okay. So then your unique value proposition, and this is from the book. I love this one. So your unique value proposition, she uses this formula and it is, I do what plus for whom equals that results in. For example, I teach some social media classes that help you grow your business and make more money doing what you love.
Wait, will you do the blanks one more time? What was the formula? I do what?
I do what plus for whom equals that results in.
Okay. Love
it. It's
it.
actually very similar to
Linda's the one.
the formula from for wealth is like,
Yeah.
what are you really good at? How many people can you go help? That's how much money you'll make, basically. So yours could be, I prepare buyers for the home buying process so that when the perfect home comes on the market, they are able to make a competitive and quality offer quickly. So something like that. Or I empower sellers to make smart pricing decisions that will cause their home to sell quicker and for top dollar. So those are some examples that I wrote down.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay. Consistency. Oh, I'm going to pull up the chat so I can keep an eye on it too, but
I'm pulling it for you.
okay,
Just
cool. Thank you. Okay, sweet. Because I don't actually know what's happening. Okay, with all these buttons. Okay, cool. Consistency with content. So when we are consistent, that means that you are dependable and predictable. So in relationships, when you are consistent with your behaviors, you evoke a sense of trustworthiness, you know, whether it's with your friends, your family, your partner, or yourself. You know, we build confidence when we keep promises to ourselves. That's how we build confidence personally. And so that's also how we build confidence with others, is when we keep promises that we make, or we say things, we walk the walk, we talk the talk. So the same thing goes on social media. So we're going to talk about frequency versus consistency. So these are backwards on the slides, but frequency is how often you choose to show up. So frequency is how often you choose to show up, not how often Google says you should do it, or how often your teenage kid says you should be posting, or, whatever. It's how often you are going to show up that you're choosing to. And then consistency is sticking to the frequency that you've chosen over an extended period of time. So if the frequency that I've chosen is 3 days a week, I'm going to post 3 days a week. It's really, really important that I post 3 days a week this week, 3 days a week next week, 3 days a week the week after that, and that we do that over and over consistently, because I don't know if anyone else is like this. I've done this before. You get really fired up to go do lead gen. I make 20 contacts today, and then tomorrow I'm like, oh, that 20 was a lot. So then I make, 6, and then the next day comes and I'm like, I already talked to 26 people. I don't even know any other people. And then, it just trails off. So consistency is really the one there that's the most important, is holding yourself to the promise that you made about frequency. So if it's,
how often do you post?
I post every day.
Yeah.
Now it's not always real estate. And that is, that's another thing is, so for me,
talk about that, the ratio, are we going to talk about that at some point of personal versus business?
I don't think it's in here, but I think now's a good time to talk about it.
Okay.
There's a little bit later, but so I think, so this was just like trial and error for me, which was on the posts that are personal on my Facebook, those get way more interaction than on the posts that are about real estate.
Yep.
Now, if I combine them and it's like I got an award or I was on a magazine, like those ones are usually pretty decent as far as like, people looking at them and that kind of thing, interacting. But people know I'm in real estate. So I try to like weave the real estate in without being so in your face, like who wants to buy or sell a house? I try to make it a little bit less aggressive. That's just my style. I'm not as like in your face. Now Instagram stories.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Keep going.
So Instagram stories is where I live. I love Instagram stories. Instagram stories and Facebook stories, they're connected. So if you put one on the other and your accounts are linked, it'll be on both. And I like to keep those a lot more personal. I do sprinkle real estate in. So I'll share something from our team page, or, share something about interest rates, or like this class I shared on there. But I really like to post, like soup Sunday. I've been making soups on Sundays, and I'll post my crock pot, or this morning I was at the grocery store and they had this like cleaning robot, and it was all by itself. No one was driving it, and it scared the heck out of me. I came around the corner and it was like, and I was like, oh my, so things like that. Like I just post things that I think are funny.
Okay. So I love that. Okay. I just have a couple of quick questions, and there are questions in the chat.
Okay.
You post on your business page or personal? You don't have a business, right? You do on your personal mainly, right?
On my personal mainly. I do have both. If I could go back, I would just keep one. If it were me, I would have only had one Instagram. And unfortunately now I'm down this deep rabbit hole of 2 Instagrams, and my real estate one is more popular than my personal one, except I post on my personal one more. So, and I can't combine them. It's That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So then, next question, and actually we might be doing this, but, Jake wants to know if you're going to be posting about ideas to post. I love social media, but almost no idea what to post, but have.
Yes, I've got you. So in a few seconds or a little bit, we're going to talk about the 5 E's. So
Okay,
there's
good.
a whole thing on content creation. Yep. So we'll talk about
Okay. And then last question I have really fast on this kind of, well, no, I'll wait till we get to the content. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
that. Okay. So the best thing, whether it's like we have a shared notes on our team now. So you can do shared notes if people have iPhones. So I could go in, it's basically like a Google Doc. So if you don't, you could also use Google Docs where you just go in and add notes. So we do that all the time with ideas that we have. And just put them in there. And then again, back to just with the consistency piece, you have time, you can make time if it's important to you. We all make time if it's important. And so that's the last thing there.
Love it. Awesome.
Okay. Video. So we have number 3 is video, and then number 6 is TikTok. So this is specific to just video in general. So redefining the concept of video. So a video doesn't necessarily have to be a carefully crafted presentation. It doesn't have to have multiple angles. You don't have to have your makeup done. It doesn't have to be really fancy. And so that's what we mean by redefining the concept of video. I know, anyway, I could talk forever. Okay. So it can be quick. It can be 30 seconds. It can be, behind the scenes, whether that's like an Instagram live or like an Instagram. So one idea, like Takeover Tuesday, and maybe it's someone on your team is, doing you behind the scenes, like showing everyone what you do behind the scenes. That might be fun because then it's not you posting about what you're doing. It's someone else like following you, or, maybe it's something along those lines, but it can be quick. And it can be on your iPhone. These phones that we have, whether it's iPhone or if you have an Android, whatever, like the cameras on these things are better than anything. They do not need video production equipment. Selena Gomez shot one of her music videos on an iPhone. So
Oh, wow.
it's good enough for Selena. It's good enough for us. Okay. So in other words, it can be as casual or as formal as you want. I would challenge, this is the big one. I would challenge people to just show up as you. So not the scripted version of you, it almost makes it worse when you're nervous and that's when you mess up your words, is when you are trying to read like a perfect sentence. Just tell the people what you are going to tell them. I think that's the best way to go about it. So know your audience, of course, know the vibe, if you will. So is it fun? Is it lighthearted? Is it serious? Is it informational? Are you promoting new listings? I don't know. We might get over, or we might talk about it again later. But one thing that I love, and I shared this in this class that I did last week, and now I've seen a couple agents in our market do it, and I love it. And this goes just back to driving engagement. So what about, instead of posting, here's my new listing at 123 Main Street and it's 250,000. What if you posted, here's my new listing on 123 Main Street. Here's all the things it has. What do you guys think the list price is?
Love that.
And let everyone comment and let them talk about it. Like, that's what's going to drive engagement. It's social media is social. It's not just media. So the goal is to get people talking and get people interacting with one another, and not just constantly talking at them all the time, like I'm doing now. No, I'm kidding. So incorporate calls to action. So they should leave your video with a clear understanding of what you're doing, of what the next steps are. So if it's a reel, or it's just a Facebook Live, or you've already recorded it and then put it on Facebook, whatever that looks like, give them a call to action. So let them know what to do next, especially if they're going to watch your whole video. Our attention spans these days are like goldfish speed. So if you can hook them in and they're watching and they get to the end, and then you've said nothing about how they can get into business with you, we've dropped the ball there. So we need to let them know how they can do that, whether that's putting a link, share your social media handle, whatever that is that they can do next.
Brittney, I think that's one that a lot of people miss because they don't want to come across as salesy. And
Mhm.
so they're posting stuff, but they're not actually ever incorporating a call to action. And I agree with you. I think that you drop the ball when that happens, big time, big time, big time. And I think that there's a classy, fun, great way to do it. And even just like you said, maybe just even a link to your, just a link to your website or to your link tree or whatever it is, so that at least there is a way,
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
then know where, so we need to figure out where the audience is. So, figure out what's popular on those channels. So if it's YouTube, who is it that's on YouTube? If it's TikTok, what does that demographic look like? If it's email videos, that was a really big push, like in the last few years. Are people opening them? Now, full transparency, and this is just me, like when I just don't like things when I click on them that they have to go somewhere else. So like, I know on videos, sometimes I'll get email videos and then I click on it and it takes me to a new thing. And I'm like, never mind, I don't care. I just won't watch it. It's like, if so, and use our buying patterns, our behavior is also that's what our clients are doing too. So if we make it difficult for them, they're not going to go do it. If it's like, hey, sign into my YouTube and go click on these things and enter a password and you can watch my video, like no one's probably going to go do that. So make it easy. Track analytics. So videos are really nice because you can go track how many people watched it, how many people liked it. And then I wouldn't spend too much time like diving into the analytics as far as like what's good and what's bad. Although I would look at, was there one specific topic you were talking about that people really loved? Or was it a photo that you turned into a video and people like that, or whatever that looks like. So that's where just using analytics. And if you're on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, all of those, they all have really, really in-depth like analytic tracking. So you can go back and look at that.
Yeah, because I always think people always say, what's the best time to post? And we always, like, my answer is always, I don't know, because yours might be different than mine. Your people might like to look at, your stuff at a different time than mine. I think generally most people's, mine is like 7 to 10 p.m. But everybody's is different base. So you do really need to look at that.
Yeah, go and look. And it's really interesting because you can see like my main audience, like mine's like a lot of female audience from like 35 to 44, 28 to 44, somewhere in there. Like that's like the majority of my followers. Yours might be different. I like to think of, this goes back to, again, what do you do? When do you look at social media? Like Sundays are the craziest day I feel like for social media because people are at home for the most part and they're like watching football or they're just at home with family and they're on their phones. That's always when my engagement is the highest for me, is on Sundays. Saturdays for me usually are not. And I just think that's because people are out doing all the things that they're going to post on Sunday. Tuesdays, they always say Tuesdays are a good day to post. I think usually like right away in the mornings. So if you think about people and their schedule, okay, well, they dropped off kids, they got kids, the morning was crazy. They dropped off kids, they got their coffee, they got to their office, quick scan of social media. So maybe that is the time, or maybe it's over lunch. So just trying to think of like, who are your people? And that goes back to, and I think we have a section in here about just like building your avatar, like figure out who is it that you're trying to attract. And that'll give you a really good idea of when you should post and what you should post.
Yeah. Those of you that get my emails, you'll notice a lot of times whenever I do, we schedule to send them at like 7:15-ish in the morning, because we found the open rates tend to be a lot higher because people aren't into their day yet. Like the minute that they get into their day and they're like in the hustle bustle of everything else, then they typically won't open the email, or the open rate it can be half of what it is if we hit them that morning while they're, before they're actually into their day. So I'm very passionate about this, because if you're going to take the time to do it, do it at least when you're going to have the best shot of people actually watching or opening or reading.
Absolutely. I love that about email. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, this is where we're in the class and we've not sped through it. I'm like, are we okay? Do we need a break? Okay. So Facebook. So Facebook is the third most visited website in the world behind Google and YouTube.
Wow.
And the primary demographic is 35 to 40. Maybe that's where that number came in. 35 to 44 is the primary demographic on Facebook. Now, Facebook doesn't love business pages. They love business pages for all the money we give them when we're spending money on ads and whatnot. But they don't love to prioritize ads and like that kind of stuff, because so many people are telling them, hey, we don't like this. I just want to go on Facebook and see what my grandma's doing. I just want to go on Facebook and see what this person's doing. So just being really mindful about what you're posting. So beating the algorithm. This kind of okay. So real quick before that, business page. Do you need a business page? There's pros and cons. We're not going to have too much time to get into it today. If you want to talk about it later, we can do that. I think it goes back to what is it like? What are your intentions for Facebook? Are your intentions to run ads? Are your intentions to use Facebook as a lead funnel, like a paid lead funnel? Or do you want, do you just want to use Facebook for your like mostly personal, you'll sprinkle some business stuff in there. Like that's another avenue as well. And I think you have to go back to your frequency, consistency conversation, which is, do you want to have another page that you have to manage? Yeah. Because one thing you don't want to do, and goes back to posting too, is you don't just want to post on your business page and then just share it to your personal, because it'll get lost. It never has the same traction as when you just post it to your personal or just post it to your business. So just things to consider. Now, okay, beating the algorithm, that is kind of what I talked about with the list price thing, is we want to start conversations. It gets kind of tricky because Facebook wants us to be social and they want us to start conversations, but they don't want you to comment in the comments or put something in the comments. They don't want us to direct them to do it. They just want it to happen naturally. It's kind of like I don't know, there's just a lot going on there. So that's why if you said, hey, what do you think this list price is? Or, hey, how many bedrooms do you think this house has? Or something along those lines. You want to get the people talking in the comments, know your audience, speak to them individually, repurpose content. So we're going to get into content a little bit later, but you can, what do we call it? R&D, rip off and duplicate. I'm sure my FSBO guide I sent, I'm sure is floating around all kinds of places now with all kinds of headshots. And I love that. I didn't make it up. It's not mine. Like, here, take it, run with it, go do, go get your unfair share of business, and just make sure that you're putting your own spin on it. If you post something that the caption is like not you and it's not your voice, your people are going to know that. They're going to be like, what the heck was that? So make sure it's in your voice. On Facebook, how often to post? The people, whoever the people are, they say 2 to 3 times a week, 7 to 11 stories per day.
Yeah, well, see, Abby just posted in the chat that the newest algorithm was 10, so that's spot on.
So if you just panicked, if you just heard 7 to 11 stories and your heart dropped, I see you. Don't worry, it's okay. When I did this in the class, it just got really funky, and everyone was just like, and then what do you mean? What do I post? So we'll get into content. Just know that it can be little things. That's not 7 to 11 like videos of you. That can be a picture of your dog, a picture of your cat, just like your day-to-day.
Yeah.
The best time to post, they say on Facebook, is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday between 9 and 11. Tuesdays are up there on everyone's for the most part on all the platforms.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So when we get off here, you'll have all these things. Go do it. Go do all the things.
Oh yeah, it's Tuesday, you guys. I didn't even plan that. I did want to share one thing on the beating of the algorithms really fast. And maybe you're getting into this, but I don't know if you guys noticed, like even last week I posted on my Instagram because everybody that was showing up in my stories and on my feed, were people that I didn't know. Like all my friends disappeared. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah. And other people had said that happened to them too. But back in like the springtime, actually, here it is. Okay. It was March. I noticed that my stories went from like 600 people watching a story to like less than 100. And it was like that for like a week. Even any post that I was posting, I was getting, instead of like, 100 say likes, I was getting like 20. I was like, what is up? And I heard Jenna, it's one of the things Jenna Kutcher, I took one of her little course things. And one of the things she said to beat the algorithms is sometimes you have to actually trick it. And so I totally stole this from her, but I did this post. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but it was just a picture of me and I held a sign and said, can you see this? And I had 517 likes and 159 comments, and it jerked my page back into algorithm. And then from there, it was like back to the normal. And so sometimes like you might have to find other things, like see what other people are doing or come up with. No, it was Brendan Burchard. It wasn't Jenna Kutcher. It was Brendan Burchard. This was on his page. He did this.
Okay.
To beat the algorithms, but there are things that you can do like that, or like this other one was like almost 400 comments. because they said if you put a quote with words over a picture, also that was one of my questions for you, Brittney. And when you look at my page, it's this very same, but a lot of it is like your face, you know, up close. And I love what Jenna Kutcher says, like, you're going to feel like a narcissist. But honestly, everybody has an interesting character. Like for most of us, it's you on this Zoom because it's your business and you have to kind of get over that. Don't you think? Or what would you say about that?
Yes, absolutely. Like it's your social media. You're the main character. If they don't want to follow you, they wouldn't follow you. They're following you because they want to see your life. They want to see your face. And the faces is a really big thing. If all you're posting are houses or all you're posting are like interior design, like things like that. Absolutely. Faces, and especially with all the like AI and all the stuff they have going on, they're constantly looking at all the pictures, like put your face on it. They want to see that. Absolutely. I agree. That's a really good idea.
Yep. Awesome. Love it. Okay.
Okay. We're going to zoom through Instagram real quick. So there's 3 main sections of Instagram. There are posts.
Sorry, will you guys post in the chat? Are you more on Facebook or more on Instagram? Just curious.
Yeah. Tell me what they say. My chat disappeared.
Instagram, Facebook, 50-50, Instagram, Facebook, IG, Facebook, both, Instagram. Wow. It's probably 50-50, honestly.
Sweet. Okay, so Instagram now has 3 sections. So there's posts, which is how we all started on Instagram, just normal square posts. There are stories, which is the little bubbles up at the top, if you're not familiar. And then reels, which is obviously Instagram's version or Instagram's copycat version of TikTok. So especially in today's world, all of the social media platforms are all, because stories actually were copied from Snapchat, if anyone remembers that. Those were, Snapchat used to have 24 hours, you could post it and then it would disappear. And so Instagram started, took that from there. So all of these platforms are just trying to keep your attention for as long as humanly possible throughout the day. And so that's why they're all copying one another. And that's where we got reels from. So here are 5 factors of the Instagram algorithm. So there's interest, timeliness, relationship, frequency, and following. They're right there. So interest is, they're going to show you on Instagram what you see based on who you follow and what you like. So the example I gave of this in the class was on our team. We've all started, like, we get our nails done. We've all like, we're just like, okay, what color should we get? Or we were talking about nails, like probably a dumb amount. And then salmon, I really love salmon and like sushi. And so if I go to my explore page, I kid you not, it's like nails and salmon and nails and salmon bake and like all these random things. Or there was a couple of weeks ago, I was telling my husband, I'm going to dye my hair brown. And then on my Instagram explore page, it was just all people with brown hair. And so it's creepy, and that's how they keep you on there. So it relies on past behavior to create a unique feed for everyone. So it's listening to you all the time. It's, what are you searching on Instagram? What are you looking at? What are you spending the most time watching? And that's what it's going to continue to show you, is curated content for what it thinks you want, because it wants to keep you there. Timeliness. So how long ago was the post made? Instagram's, it's newer. Like the newer it is, the more often it's seen. So after a certain number of time, like days or time, you're probably not going to get as much interaction. It's the same like that on Facebook. Instagram's goal is to show you fresh content every time you open the app. So they're going to try to give you all kinds of new stuff when you get there, when you open the app again, because it doesn't want you to leave. It doesn't want you to think you've seen it all if you come across another post that you thought you already saw. Yeah. Relationship. Instagram wants to show your content to the people that you care about. So in order to determine who those people are, it's going to look at your engagement with other accounts. So indicators of close relationship include commenting, DMing, tagging, and then if you turn on the notifications for those posts. So if you can tell your clients and tell the people that are following you to engage with you that way, that's how you're going to get, right up on their stories or be in front of them more often. So like Dana, we didn't even know each other before September. And now every time I open Instagram, it's like Dana's little face and her story. And I'm like clicking.
It's wild how it does that. But I also, you just reminded me of one thing too, that I always heard, which is don't post and ghost. And
Mhm.
my following, like followers and engagement has really gone, like it's grown a lot in the last year. And I think it's because ever since I heard that, I've been very intentional. So like, I know that I'm going to post at a time that I can be around for like, or at least looking at it for the next hour or so, because they want you, as people comment, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like if you like, so like if I posted something and you commented and said, oh, I like that shirt, then I need to go back and say, thanks so
Thank you.
much. Like, so glad you like it. And
Yes.
like lying to everybody's, you can't just post and then ghost and back out, because they don't think that you're interested in the relationship building part of it.
Yes. And that goes back to social media. So like
Yeah.
the biggest one is like when you do have an accomplishment, or let's say I just have a baby and I'm like, I'm not pregnant or anything, but yeah, this is my announcement on a random Zoom with people I don't know. No. So
I'm
if
like
you,
Oprah, I got it out of her. No.
so let's say you post like, I just had a baby. And then all these people are like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And then all you do is go back and just like their comments. Like, that's so weird. Imagine if you were in real life and someone came up to you and they were like, I love your shirt. And you're like, no, you would say something. You would say like, thank you so much. Like, so you have to think of it that way, because that's how it's set up. That's how it's working, is you cannot just go like someone's comment and think that that's cool. Like, we need to reply back. Thank you so much. Like, that person took time to comment on your thing. You can take 5 seconds and tell them actually thank you, versus just like their comment or heart it, whatever.
Totally agree. Yep,
So
totally agree.
Okay, frequency. Again, we chatted about frequency, but the big thing with Instagram is if you're checking Instagram a lot, then you might see more of a chronological feed, because it knows you're going to come back. It's just going to show you things in order. If you rarely open Instagram, like Sydney, for example, if anytime she opens it, it's not super frequent. I bet she's not even on Instagram once a day. But when she opens it, it knows that it's going to give her content that she thinks that they think she's going to like best, versus chronological, because it wants to keep her on it for longer.
Okay.
So that's frequency. And then following. If you follow a lot of people, it's likely that you won't see every post from every account. And so if that goes for us, that also goes for our clients. So that's why frequency is important, is because if they're not going to see everyone, we want them to see something. And so that's why it's important to continue posting, so that we're, staying ahead of it.
Love it.
Quick Instagram. Okay. Sweet. Up next, TikTok. Again, this is going to be really brief, and there's a slide in here from CC at the end. TikTok is very confusing sometimes. It says be individual, no, collaborate, use trending audios, no, make your own, take it seriously, no, be prepared to laugh at yourself. I think that's with every social media. We get so many random things. So the main thing with TikTok is, it's video first. It's often very collaborative, and it's driven by trends. So TikTok is fast. You want to get on trends quickly, and then, it's on to the next trend. So jump on the trends, use the right hashtags. If you don't know everyone knows what a hashtag is. They're talking about the pound sign here, people. Boost your account authority by prioritizing content and regular uploading. And I would say that goes on anything. It's the same as if someone sees something that I have, you guys listen to me on here, and then you go to my Instagram and I have one picture, you're going to be like, we just took advice from this girl. I have a whole bunch of things there. And that just goes to authority. People want to see that if they're going to follow you or they're going to like your stuff, that you have a track record of whatever it is that you're talking about. In our case, selling houses. And then follow up on content fast, back to what Dana was just saying, which is, comment back to them. Be social with them. Keep things short and snappy. On average, people only have 8 seconds for you to grab their attention. So use that to your advantage. You guys, Alicia just did this open house walkthrough, and it was the funniest thing ever. I'll share it on my page, and then you guys can go see it. It was absolutely hilarious. It was people do serious walkthroughs of an open house. Here's the kitchen. She set up the phone and was sprinting through the house and Vanna Whiting, all the things, she sat on the toilet and then ran into the closet, and it was hilarious. I think the whole video was 10 seconds or 15 seconds. She sprinted up the stairs and then was winded, but it was just so funny and engaging. I think that's what people love to see. So things like that.
It catches your attention, right? I mean, people, that's going to catch your attention.
Yeah. The builder that we represent shared it, and I died laughing thinking about it. Okay. That's TikTok.
Okay.
No questions on TikTok. Just kidding. Okay. Time blocking. This is the thing that never goes away, right? We need time blocking for lead gen. We need time blocking for all the things. So in the beginning, it's going to take you more time, especially if you've never used whatever platform it is. So recognize that, it might take you 30 minutes to make your first reel if you've never done it before, and then you'll get more accustomed to doing it and it'll be better. So just, it takes time. Be patient with yourself, allow yourself the time, and just know that it gets easier. Time blocking, the tool that never goes away. So aim for 10 to 15 minutes every morning and every evening to engage with people on social media, whether that's direct messaging people or commenting or whatever that looks like for you. Pre-plan what you're going to post. I think that was a mouthful. That goes with that's anything. That's just being prepared, and you'll have things to post. So I think of it like kind of like my diet. Like if I didn't bring my lunch, I'm probably not going to eat. And then all of a sudden I'm starving at 3 o'clock and I'm like, well, Taco Bell's the only option. Same thing with your social media. If you didn't plan what you were going to post and you're like, oh, great, now I have to post, you post something that's either off brand or just haphazard, and the comment or, in the captions like, yep, I posted today. So, come from a place that you are prepared. How often should you post? We talked about that. Oh, feed fillers. So feed fillers are like what I was just saying, posts made for the sake of posting versus, posts that you're actually posting to get engagement with other people and get into conversation. So spend your time focusing on commenting on things, commenting on other people's things. I know Rachel Adams she does a lot of social media classes. And one of the things that she's, talks about, it's like the 3 5s or the 5 5s, or she goes and comments and likes 5 other people's things before she posts. So gets the algorithm up and working, oh, this person's engaging with other people. And then you post.
That's a great idea. Yep.
So that's something we've started doing. And that's kind of that kind of piggybacks on the, post and ghost is we can't expect people to only like our stuff if we're not engaging with their stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Love that. All of us that know each other, that's what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
Those of you that know each other on here, that's why we always need to comment and like and share and post and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, here's a really great question, actually.
Yeah.
Do you accept every single friend request?
I have a really large Facebook friend purgatory is what I call it. There's a ton of people in there.
They're waiting. They're in there. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not friends with someone that I know, then if I don't have any mutual friends, I won't accept. But at this point, I feel like I have so many in there. That was not like I have so many friends. No, I just have so many people that know so many people. I feel like we're so connected like that now it's, oh, this person has. Now it's gotten to me in trouble. A couple of times they had 5 mutual friends. I'm like, I probably know them, except. And then a few hours later, Liv on my team was like, who is this? And I'm like, she's like, you're a mutual friend. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. I accepted because I thought, so.
Yeah, totally.
And I think someone actually asked that in the class. And I just said, it goes back to your comfort level. If you're not comfortable posting things on the internet and you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. Your clients are still out there. Your clients are still either in your sphere or, I know, and I gave a shout out to, there was a gal there. She's not at our brokerage. But she never posts her kids' faces. So it's always just the back of their heads. If they're at a baseball game or they're walking down the hallway, it's just the back. She's never ever posted their faces. And that's something that she's chosen, and she's not comfortable with that. And I admire that so much. I just think that's so cool that that's how her social media is set up. And that's what makes her comfortable, and she runs with that. So, if you want to do it to your comfort level. And again, that goes back to being authentic, knowing your brand, being, genuine to what you are doing.
Yep.
Okay. Content. This is the part we probably could have skipped to. So identify your ideal customer. So this is where we go and we're creating the avatar of who that is. So this needs to be a very detailed avatar, a description of who it is that you're looking to help. So what is their background? What is their demographic? What is their preferred method of communication? If you primarily work with, estate sales and you love the 65 plus community, the senior community, those are your people. I don't know that TikTok is your jam. I don't know that that's where the most of that demographic is hanging out. So figure that out. What is their personality style? Why are they currently not working with you? I think that's a really big one. Are they not working with you because they don't know you and they're not seeing you? Or are they not working with you because whatever that is for you? Or are they working with someone else? Okay, well, what's that person doing to stay in front of them? what is your customer afraid of? Are they afraid of making the wrong decision? Are they afraid of losing money? Are they afraid of not getting a good deal? What are their pain points? So finding a home in the right school district, working with a trustee advisor, like what are the things that a really big one right now with interest rates, and praise all the things, interest rates came down last week and that was exciting. And like motivation is different at which we all felt, and maybe it was just me. Motivation felt different at 7.5 than it did at 2% interest rates. And so figuring out what is their motivation, what, creating that for them. The 5 E's of content. So they are educational, engaging, entertaining, exclusive, and emotional. So whoever asked that, this is your thing. So write all these things down. So educational, that is how-to videos, how to, whether it's gutters, like there's a guy in our market. He does amazing, like I follow him literally because I learned things from him. I'm like, God, these are great. And he's a real estate agent. He posts like, how to clean your gutters, how to, make sure you're unhooking your hoses. He sent a $10, $5 or $10, I think it was like a Starbucks gift card to all of his clients that DM'd him with a picture of them unhooking their hoses.
Love that. Wow.
So they unhook their hose because it gets cold where you guys, and it gets cold here. Like, so then now he has the engagement of them sending him pictures, and now they're getting something from it. And he doesn't have to deal with their basements flooding in the spring because they didn't unhook their hoses and got cracked pipes and all those things. Events in the area, community-driven information, process-oriented, step-by-step. Like, I think that we take for granted sometimes what we're doing because we do it every day, and just like removing ourselves from that and like, what would people want to know? Spouses sometimes are a good thing, or like siblings, like go ask your friends, go ask your people, what is it that you wish you could see that's educational? Because I think there's a lot of real estate questions that people are either embarrassed to ask, or they don't know. And so they don't want to, or they don't want to get our hopes up. I have a client that will text me. She's like, I have a question about value. Don't get your hopes up. I'm not selling yet. I'm like, okay. So just, that's all the educational stuff. Engaging, asking for advice, asking for recommendations on restaurant or roofers or what that looks like. We do a lot of this or that. So if you follow our real estate team, it's kind of long, but it's at ARO_RE_group. I can put it in the chat later. We do a lot of this or that because that boosts engagement quite a bit. So usually I think it's on Wednesdays or Thursdays, we'll post this or that. We do this or that kitchen edition. We do this or that breakfast. Like there's really no theme. We just love like seeing what people post or what they pick. We started doing Trivia Tuesday. It's not real estate related. It's like random crap. Like today it was like, what do you call a single strand of spaghetti? And I was like, Sydney was like pasta, and Liv's like, no, it's called a like spaghetto. I didn't know. So random things, but our engagement is way up because people are constantly going and looking at it. So this or that, take a poll. People love polls.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Like you can put little stickers that have polls on your Instagram stories. People love that stuff. So that's engaging. Also that would go in engaging is like, guess this list price, or what do you think this house sold for when it actually closes? Like guess the sold price. And you could even couple that with like a giveaway, like whoever gets closest, like Price is Right edition, like whoever gets closest without going over, I'm going to send you a $25 Starbucks gift card. Like, and that's an example of using social media to then take it into real life. So that would be one. Entertaining. So this is like, share a caption this and post something funny, or like, I don't know, my brain, like my wheels turn, like something like that. Share a dad joke of the day. What national day is it? So we were on that kick for a while. Like today's National Entrepreneur Day. I think last week there was like deviled egg day. So we posted and said, who likes deviled eggs? And the poll was like, yes or no. And we had like 50 people vote. Wow. And it's so dumb. It's about a deviled egg. And those people are engaged so that when we post today about interest rates, they're seeing that. And then most embarrassing moments. I love a good embarrassing moment. Similar to Alicia, I am not afraid to laugh at myself. I mostly poke fun at things that we do. And so I'll post things that we do that's embarrassing, things like that. Okay. Exclusive would be top takeaways from an event, or like something like this class. You could literally take a screenshot of this, or, something that you learned, to take a picture of your notes and just post it on your social media and say, Like, it's so important to me that I am staying the top of my game, even when all the other real estate agents in our market, go into hibernation this time of the year. I am taking CE classes, or I'm taking classes to, sharpen what I'm doing for my clients. Like,
Yeah.
put it out there.
And tag us, because then we'll reshare it. So like, I always tag everybody that I'm at when I'm with somebody, because then they're going to reshare it. And then their people are going to go follow you, and you know what I mean? Like, then we're helping everybody, which is really great.
Yep. Sneak peek of, or I have a free download or a new listing or whatever that looks like. Exclusive would be content that like other people aren't getting if they don't follow you. Think of it kind of that way. Or if they're exclusive, could be if you have your VIP clients, they're getting to see, a day in the life, or, sharing like recent home remodel pictures or things like that, that maybe, join my VIP email list and get to know about my coming soons before everyone else. Or I don't know what the rules look like on that, but things like that, where you can get people engaged more than just the general public. And then emotional. So we know that Bold taught us that logic makes us think and emotions make us act. And so emotional is where I think a lot of us sometimes miss on social media, because we use it as such a highlight reel that we don't let ourselves get emotional about it. And I think that that's where real connections are made. And that's where social media is key, is like, share your bucket list goals, like ask people to share what are their goals, pose questions about different scenarios, post childhood memories, or like, gosh, I remember when we did this, or do you remember this, or what was your favorite restaurant when you were growing up, or, just things that can get people emotionally tied. And this is kind of where we got into personal versus private, which is personal is human, relatable topics. Private is personal information that you're not sharing publicly. So this was a good example that I think would be good for me. So like, let's say you go to dinner with a client, or you go to dinner with a group of friends. Instead of posting, that person, like maybe they're like, hey, I'm like not really big social media people, or, but what if some type of VIP event or whatever, instead of posting the people you're with, what if you posted the outside of the restaurant and just said, has anyone ever dined here? Like, what's good?
Yeah,
or like, something just, and I think sometimes like for people that are so comfortable with social media, like me, like my husband, he's like, don't put my face on there. And I'm like, come on, it's fine. But if I post us, like whatever it is, if that was space, he's cool with it. Okay. That was content. We're gonna,
it's 3. So if
Okay.
if you want to hang on for just a few more minutes, and she'll finish 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if anybody has any more questions. This has been so good. Thank you, Brittney.
Thank you. Yeah. 9 is reviews. So
this is a big one people ask about a lot.
yes, this is a really big one. So online reviews provide existing and potential customers with a sense that your business is genuine. Oh gosh. So a recent study, nearly 77 of respondents, says it right there, read online views before purchasing something. So in our case, they're going to go on and they're going to find you, and they're going to read your reviews before they reach out to you to do business with you. People have claimed that like the positive online reviews influence their purchasing decisions over negative ones. And so this just shows that social media reviews are honestly a really big deal, especially in our industry. Reading online reviews is part of people's decision-making process. Someone said, so this is under credibility. So they said that nearly 7 in 10, so kind of that same number of consumers said that an online review is equally as important as a personal referral.
No.
So just think, okay, we already have our referral business. Now let's go beef up our reviews, and we'll just double the business we have coming in, because those people are going to go check out our reviews and work with us too. And
So
that's
where do you ask for reviews? Because I know that's always such a big question of all real estate business owners, is they were getting them on their Zillow, and then it was on realtor.com, and then it was on their Facebook page. And it's like, okay, where? Now I think it's Google, but
Google is a really big one. Yeah. So Google is really, really like there's a team in our office, or in our market center, in our market, not our market center. I think they have something insane. It was like 13,000 reviews, like something absurd. And I'm like, never even sold that many houses. Like, how do they do that? But they just have so many people, like over years and years and years of like, they just ask people to leave them reviews. Ours, we like to hit on Facebook, and then whatever people write, we use that and we create a graphic, and then we share it on social media. Like it's on Facebook, and then we'll share it on Instagram, or We make packets, buyer seller packets. We'll put those in there, the review handout. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. We all know how reviews go. The majority of people that are going to be fired up enough to leave reviews are usually the negative ones. So it's really, really important that we're asking people for reviews. And honestly, I've found that asking for reviews is almost easier than asking for referrals, because I like to ask every time they say thank you throughout the transaction. So if they're like, you just got them under contract, they're pumped. They're, oh my gosh, this is the best ever. You were the best. I can't believe we even went through life without you so far. You're like, thank you so much. You know what would be really like, I appreciate that. I need you to tell other people. Can I send you a link and you can just write a review on my Facebook? They're like, yes. No one's going to say like, no, I hate you. They are so excited for you. They want to help you grow your business. And that's, people generally want to help people. So if you can say, it would mean so much to me if you could write a review about your experience. That's how I go attract more fun clients like you. They're going to be like, yeah, that's great. Now just be mindful of when you ask it. So in our world, we like to ask it before closing, and then, or we send it twice. So we send it once before closing, and then we send it it's 2 to 3 weeks after closing, because we were sending it like the day of closing. And that, for me, that was just like, duh, they're busy. They don't have time. Like, they're moving, they're stressed. They have all these moving pieces, and we're thinking they're going to sit down and write a review. Like, that was just, that was not cool. And then again, responding. So it's not on this screenshot, but respond to the review, because that's social media. That's how it works. And the other thing with responding was that it shows your audience. So this was one thing I didn't think of, and I was like, that's genius. When clients go and they look at your reviews and they see that you responded, clients will view your brand as being responsive to their needs. So if all you have is a ton of reviews and you didn't respond to any of them, they could take that as like, oh, wow, they don't really care about all their happy people. Or not happy, depending on the reviews, I guess. And then yes, Google My Business. Yeah. That's a good one. And everyone, you should just, this isn't even really social media, but go Google your name and see what comes up. I did this when I was prepping for this class I taught, and I had my maiden name like all over. It's been 4 years. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought I like got through all this, but so make sure all your information is correct. Okay. And then last but not least, pro tips and tricks. Cece, our girl Cece.
Quick question, really fast. And I know we're going kind of late, but if reviews are old, would you recommend that they go back and comment on them now?
Yeah, I would. I would go back and comment and just say thank you. And over Bold, we did a review giveaway. So we said, if you review us on Facebook, you review us on Facebook, Google, and like Zillow or whatever the places we had. For every time you leave us a review, and you can even copy and paste it, we'll get you one entry, and then we gave away like $100 gift card or something like that. Love it. So just rewarding the behavior. Yep. So Cece says, Cece has 21,000 followers on her TikTok. She says, plan your content, and you guys talk to her. So there's her things. This Bethany Nolan, I follow her on Instagram. She's so cool. She does so many reels, like literally thousands of them. Her advice, I reached out to her. Her advice was stay consistent, post on your stories, which we already talked about, stay authentic, be true to you, use content from your everyday life. So you don't have to make it super hard. Again, that goes back to just, what are people asking you? They asking about interest rates? Sweet, post about interest rates. They're asking you about whatever, do that. And then share the details. She liked to keep the, whatever it was in the reel super simple, and then go really in depth in the caption. That was her style. Faces take you places. That's from the book. That was what we had to talk about. Yeah. Show your face, create that connection. Don't be afraid to show your face. They're going to see you at some point, ideally, and make sure it's, if you use like a super heavy filter and then they show up and they're like, who is that? You be authentic, be you. Teach before you reach. So that's just front load everything with value. Make sure you're giving before you're asking from people. Don't stalk unless you talk. So comments, that's just like comment back on things, don't be a lurker. It says, let your comments be your content.
Yeah.
So go use that as your, just another added layer of your authenticity and your brand. And then again, back to consistency, just focusing on all of that. So my goodness, that was really like the bulk of the class. Since I forgot to show, I did show you guys the onesies last time, but this is just an example. So we love to do things in real life from social media. So if someone posts a baby, we'll send them a onesie. If someone posts, you
Love
name
that.
it. We just love gifts. So that's, yeah.
Super cool. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, I have 5 pages
Fastest hour ever.
and a million screenshots, super fast. I know we're 7 minutes over. Any last questions you guys have? You can type them in the chat. Does anybody want to unmute and ask Brittney a question? It doesn't have to be about social media, it could be about anything else while we have her for a minute. And yes, please scan the code and go follow Brittney. And I did post her Instagram link in the chat also as well. Any questions? Oh, yes, Dave. Oh, Dave, I'm so glad you made it on. We are actually Brittney is going to be so gracious and share the slides. So for everyone that is on and registered, we will be emailing out the recording and the slides. So Brittney, if you send them to me, then Abby will share them out Abby will post it on YouTube and Heather will share. Somebody will share them. We'll get them to you. Yes. And you guys know I try to respond to all of your emails asking for things. And Brittney is going to send us help send the person for the
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be so excited.
You send that to me and I can put it in my email with these slides and the recording. Yes. And then, but tell them about just in case they weren't on the first one.
I wish I would have brought one with me. I'm not at my my office. So we ordered wrapping paper. They're like little cylinders. They go over the wrapping paper and they cut the wrapping paper. And we just put our logo. It has my phone number on it. And then we put a little piece. So Liv actually put a little piece of paper and a business card. And it just says like, thank you so much for helping us wrap up a great year. Think of us in 2023, whatever. And then we're going to poly mailer. We're going to mail those ones out with the calendars for the year.
Love that.
And then we're going to do for our like top people, we bought rolls of wrapping paper. So we're going to put that with the wrapping paper and like pop by those ones.
So cute. Love it. Dave said, what are your thoughts on emojis?
I think you have to use emojis. I'm obsessed with emojis. I coach high school. I coach my high school, like a competitive cheer team, and they keep me in check. Apparently young kids are not using emojis. I just think it's a communication thing. I feel like if I can put an emoji, it helps get my point across that I'm like really excited or like mind blown.
MailChimp came out and said that your emails are like, I think it was 74 or 76. It was in the 70s.
You put one?
Yeah, 70-something% more likely to be open if there's an emoji in the subject.
Yes, and it breaks it up. Like if you guys this isn't like go look at all my social media. And if you go look at all my social media, it breaks up the text. It doesn't, nobody wants to sit on there and read like books of things. If you can highlight by putting 2 emojis on either side of a sentence, like interest rates are down and put the little sparkly emojis, that's like a different.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, before we end, I want to give you guys 2 action items. Okay, so if you are very interested in growing your social media and your business, I want you to do 2 things. Number 1, I want you to go figure out a way. I'm going to do this too. So whether you're posting it or you're emailing it or whatever, go find a group of people and ask them 3 words to describe you so that you can really be intentional about what your brand is for next year. And it's been a few years since I've done that. So I even need to go back and do it. I hope they say nice things.
I'm going to do it.
Okay, good. Okay, let's all do that. And then wait, what was going to be my second one? Figure out what 3 ways people describe you. And then post something from today. And honestly, like if those of you that are going to do it as a selfie, go you, because remember what she said, faces take you places and people want to see your beautiful faces. So Brittney, you're just the best. Could you want to move to Kentucky? It would make me so happy. Or Charleston or Columbus or Louisville, any of the places.
Anywhere. Can we take a picture? I'll take a screenshot. Can everyone, if you feel comfy about it, just put your face on real quick. My hairs look like this the whole time, so get your cameras on, people.
I know. I don't know what this is doing.
Oh my God, we're worried this whole time.
I take offense that everyone has told me my hair looks good today, only because it's clean. So I said, I guess I need to start washing my hair more.
I love you guys. I'm going to be friends with all of you. Okay. Big smiles. I'm going to screenshot. Actually, I'm going to take it like this because I don't.
Abby has the mustache on.
Yes. Okay. Wait, did I do it? Hold on. Oh no.
I did it.
I'm 100. Okay. Wait, I'll take it like this. Okay. Smile. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Seriously, this
Thanks,
is
guys. Thank you, Brittany. You're the best. Thank you guys for being on. Hope this was great. We'll send you everything. Have a wonderful rest of your week. See you later. Thanks, Brittany. Love you.
Bye. Love you.